All right, folks, our final episode in a series I had no idea I was even gonna do. We're doing 4 racks of ribs on 4 different kettles using 4 different woods. Now, we've done this test twice before. The first time we did the chop test, which was cherry, hickory, oak, and pecan. The next test we did was the mama test, which was mesquite, apple, maple, and almond woods. Now, of those 8 woods, the only one kind of rare really was the almond wood, and we found out it tasted pretty much like pecan. So let's see if today's test can show us anything different. We're doing a little bit more rare woods today. I don't want to use the word exotic, but more rare. We're doing the papa test, which is peach, apricot, pear, and avocado woods. I've never used any of those 4 woods before, so I can't wait to see how they do. Now, our main goal here really is just to find a wood maybe that we didn't know we liked and see if it was something we were start using regularly. So far for me, it's maple. I really liked those maple ribs last video. I tried them after I got off camera and I just fell in love with them even more. They were fantastic. So we'll do the exact same things we've done before. We'll take a rack of spare ribs, trim it down to the St. Louis cut, season them with salt and pepper, and get them on the grills at 275 for about 4.5 hours. Don't wrap them at all, and we'll see how they do. Now let's get our woods out and I'll show them to you and we'll get started. All right, folks, I'll put each one of the woods up on the table here for the kettle, show you which kettle it's gonna go in and how they got shipped to me. I'll put a link to each one of them in the description below so you can see how to get them and how much they cost and all that stuff. But this was the peach wood from a company called ACC Wood. It's a very common looking wood, nothing special about it as far as, you know, the look or the grain, just a very typical average wood here. I'll show you a piece of it here up close. So here's a piece of peach wood. Like I said, nothing spectacular, just bark on there. It comes in these little pieces just like it is rare. I did not touch these at all as far as trimming them or cutting them or chopping them down to smaller pieces. Just perfect size to go in the smoke and sizzle in the Weber kettle. So this was the peach wood. Now let's look at the apricot wood. All right, so here's the apricot wood from a company called Smoke and Splits. I'm pretty sure I got this on Amazon, but again, I'll put a link to everything in the description below. Typical, somewhat bigger chunks. I've sort of split down a few pieces already. There's a piece right there. But I split it down already to smaller pieces like this. You can see pretty close. Typical wood, nothing special about it. Nothing, doesn't have a real strong smell of any type. It's definitely seasoned well for what I want to use it for. But I did have to split this down to these smaller sizes from this. These little pieces were too big really for the kettle to use it on the smoke and sizzle. So I chipped them down a little bit smaller pieces, ready to put in, ready to go when we get ready to start smoking. So there's the apricot. Now let's look at the pear wood. All right, guys, here's the pear wood. Now it came in bigger chunks like this size right here. So I definitely trimmed it down and got some pieces much smaller to go into the Weber kettle with the smoke and sizzle. But there's a piece of that pretty typical wood. It's a little tighter grain, looks like. Doesn't smell like anything, nothing's pronounced of any sort. Pretty tight grain, nothing crazy, just again, typical wood, but it did come a little bit too big of a size for me to use just by itself. I had to chop it up a little bit. So no big deal, no problem. Now let's look at the avocado wood. All right, guys, here's the avocado wood. Now the avocado wood came all the way across country from California out of Simi Valley, a company called Rancho La Casa. And Tim, the guy who runs the place, was very communicative with me. He right away reached out to me when I placed my order, let me know he's taking care of my order, would get it to me right away. So, and they did a great job. Let me get you up close and let you see what this wood looks like up close. So there's a piece of avocado wood. Now it's not got really anything rare to look into it or anything, you know, marked about it, but it does have a little bit of a spongy look to it in parts. Now it's not spongy at all, it just kind of looks like like there's spores, little holes in it. But it's very well seasoned. I really like the wood. It looks really, really good. I can't wait to give it a try. So there's our 4 different woods. Now what I'll do is I'll bring out a rack of ribs, kind of give you a refresher on how we take them from spare ribs down to St. Louis cut, season them with salt and pepper, get our kettles going, and get our ribs on. All right, folks, let's get these ribs trimmed up and seasoned onto the kettles. Now this is just your basic rack of spare ribs. See this extra meat on the top and on the ends. We'll trim all that up, and I'll go into more detail in the other videos, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail here. If you want to watch and hear how I do, why I'm doing certain things, watch either one of the 2 previous videos in this series of different woods. So I'll go ahead and just start working on these. Now what I'll do, guys, again, I'll show you, all I'll do is score this membrane. I don't remove it. Typically I would remove it, but for this experiment I'm not worried about. It's just me eating these ribs, so I don't really care. Plus this works great when you just score the back of the membrane. You just run your knife through them, through the membrane like this, go between each rib, just kind of make a cut between each one of these, as many as you want really, just to score them up, and that way it ends up not being such a issue with your membrane. Now there's one of them. I'll do the other 3. I'll go ahead and season this one so you can see that, but then I'll do the other 3 racks, trim and season them too. But I'll just show you this one, that way we'll get on to the next thing you'll see we'll be putting on the smoker. So again, this is a 50-50 mix of salt and pepper, just kosher salt and 16 mesh pepper, 50-50 mix. Again, I don't use a binder. I'm trying to keep everything consistent from the last 2 times we've done this. Just a nice coating on the back there. Keep stirring it up so it doesn't fall to the bottom. Get a good coverage on there. What I'll do too is I'll put some on the paper on the cutting board here and use it to get the sides of the ribs so I don't forget the sides. All right guys, there we go. That is seasoned rack of ribs. Simple, straightforward, from spare ribs down to St. Louis cut. This is a perfect rack of ribs. We'll get the other 3 done, get the kettles going. Back in a minute. All right guys, it's been about 2 hours now. We're gonna go ahead and spritz these. These are the peach ones. We'll try them first and see how they look. Wow, look really, really good. I like the way they're looking. Let's give it a spritz here. About looking good. I'm really pleased with those so far. Again, those are the peach ones. Now let's go on to the apricot ones. All right, let's look at the apricot ones now. Ooh, looking really good. They already didn't even spritzing very much. I think they look pretty good there actually. My spritzer's on the fritz, man. It won't hold its pressure. I gotta get a new one, I guess. I think the pressure relief valve is busted, but there's a little bit of pressure. Gonna need to do one of these, that's for sure. All right guys, let's move on to the next ones. All right folks, let's look at the pear ones now, see how they look. Good color. Need a little bit of spray on them. I pumped this thing up really tight now, so now I got a little pressure on there, but those look really good. Now let's look at the avocado ones. They're the last ones to look at. Let's take a look and see how they're doing. All right folks, here's the avocado ones. Oh, they look good too, good color. I'll tell you what, looks like the charcoal's burning a little faster and that wood's burning a little faster because that wood's a little bit, I guess, more seasoned, but it's also not very dense. So can't wait to try these, but looks like the wood's burning much faster on this kettle with this avocado wood than any of the other 3. So we'll have to wait and see. All right, folks, it's been about 5 hours and our first rack is finally done. The first rack done is the peach rack. Let me get them off and I'll show them to you real quick. All right, guys, there's the peach rack. Let me show it to you a little close up close there. It's a pretty dark color actually, but they look good nonetheless. Now we'll put these into the warming cabinet, wait for the rest of them to get done. So we'll just wrap these up real quick. I'm not sure what's taking a little longer. It may be the fact that it's a little cooler out here than it was last time we did this. Very little humidity. Get my pen out and I'll write peach on these so we'll know that which are which. Put these in the warming cabinet, and when the next ones get done, we'll bring you back and let you see them. All right guys, our next rack is now done, and it's the avocado ribs. Let me grab them and show you them. These are a very pretty red color, guys. Look at that. I'll bring them up closer, let you see them up closer too. Good red color to them. Some good pullback there, not as much as usual, but again, this has been about 6 or 7 minutes since the last rack was done, so a little over 5 minutes again. So we'll get the avocado ribs wrapped up here. Now these will go in the warming cabinet until the remaining 2 are done. Avocado. All right guys, we'll see when the next ones are done. All right folks, next one's done are the apricot ones. Let me pull them off for you. There they are. This end here is very thick and meaty. Really good meaty ribs. Good looking ribs. Good looking dark, very dark color, dark mahogany here. Get these wrapped up. Hey, what I can't wait to try these. I'm excited about all these different woods I've not used before. It's kind of cool. Apricot. There we go. All right guys, we'll put the apricots in the warming cabinet. Only one we're waiting on now is the pear. When they get done, we'll let them rest for a few minutes, bring them out, cut them open, let you see what we got. All right folks, the last rack is finally done. It's the pear rack. Let me get that out and show it to you. There they are, guys. Those are also crazy hot. Just came off, of course. They are pretty dark colored red. Very pretty, but pretty dark. So let me wrap them up and let them rest for a few minutes. And then we will pull them all out here, cut them open, take a bite. That's quite obviously the best part of this job, doing this, is the bites of everything you get to take. These are the pear. All right guys, let me let these rest about 10 or 15 minutes. We'll pull them all back out, have them all out here for you. We'll give them a cut and see what they look like. See you in a minute. All right y'all, the ribs are all done now. We got them all rested right out here on the table. This is our final test. We're gonna see if any 4 of these can beat what I think was the best ones, which were the maple. I'm gonna get them all unwrapped real quick, cut them open, let you look at them, take a bite, and tell you what I think. Now, I've got them lined up the way they were here on the kettles. Avocado, and then of course pear, and next would be apricot, and the far left for you guys was the peach. So let me get them unwrapped, we'll take a bite. All right guys, here we go. Now, they all look very similar in color. Now, the other ones have been a lot darker, different shades of red. These are all pretty doggone similar as far as color goes. We'll start with the left and go left, your right to left, my left to right. So we'll start with the avocado ribs, which is cool because I want to try them first anyway. I'm excited about these. The avocado rib, got a really good smoke ring on it. See how the good smoke's got some good juice to it. I like the way that looks, man. Let me give it a try here. I'm excited about this. Let's see how it tastes. Cheers for the avocado, guys. Great taste, but even a great bite. Look at that bite there. Good, clean bite. Nothing different about it. I'm trying to figure out what it tastes like. Not cherry, more like even an oak or a pecan. Nothing outrageous, but very, very good. Just nothing like I hoped it would be a different flavor I'd never experienced before, but it's very good. I'm not gonna go, ooh, maple's still beating it, but it's still very good rib. Don't get me wrong, guys. I like that a lot. Very good rib. Now let's move on to the next rack, which will be the pear. All right, here we go. This is the pear. Another good smoke ring. Look at the smoke ring right there. That's fantastic, guys. Looks really, really good. Boy, it smells good too. Wow, smells, I just got a big whiff of that. That's really great. Cheers, guys, to the pear. Let's take a bite here. That's something I haven't tasted before. I don't know that I like it necessarily, but it's not bad. It's not terrible, but it's not something I would necessarily go and pick out. I'm trying to figure out what the flavor is. It's just a really strong flavor, but it's not bad. It's just not real good either. Not my favorite by any means, but it's definitely something I'm glad I tried. The rib is very good bite through rib. I mean, it's just very juicy. I mean, it was juicier than the avocado rib was. Very juicy. Of course, it was the last ones to come off too, in all fairness, but that it's good. It's just not my favorite. I can't even. It's just it's a kind of a fruity flavor actually, which is pear. Of course, it would be a fruit flavor, but it's not my favorite. Not my favorite at all. Now let's go to the apricot. Those are some big ribs here on this rack. Wow, good looking rib there. Color-wise, guys, these all look similar. They really do. I'm not sure why they're all so similar color-wise, but they definitely are. Really good. It's got a good, I mean, it's pretty pink all the way through from the smoke ring. Looks like it penetrated all the way through. So hopefully we'll get some good flavor out of this. Again, this is the apricot. Cheers, guys. Definitely a good flavor. Definitely taste the smoke. My goodness. Really good bite through. Like I said, these are really good meaty ribs. This is probably the meatiest rib of the whole bunch. Meatiest rack of the whole bunch. Good clean through bite. Really good flavor. Rivals that of the cherry, but I like the maple still a little better, but this is very, very good. I like the apricot quite a bit, guys. So far it's my best out of these three that I've tasted. This is definitely my favorite. But apricot's something definitely to keep your eye on. It's very, very good. Now let's try the peach. All right, here's the peach. Let's take a close-up look here, let you get a good look at it. Another good smoke ring. Of course, smoke ring doesn't mean flavor, but it does mean smoke penetration, so that's good at least. But yeah, it's definitely another good meaty rib. Again, this is the peach. Cheers. We have a winner. My goodness, we have a winner. That's fantastic. Good bite through rib there, but my goodness. That's very close to maple. I select maple the best, but this is a very close second for me. From woods especially that I had not done a lot with. So, very good rib. I like this one a whole lot. This is definitely the winner for today was peach. So it'd be peach and then apricot. And then definitely would be avocado next. And then last would be pear. But anyway, guys, I liked all these a whole lot. Very, very good. I enjoyed doing this test. So there's 12 different woods I gave you examples of from the start of this, the very first in this series. This is the second and the third. 12 different woods. So at the end of the video, I'll give you a list of all 12 and how I liked them. Let you have an idea of where I ranked them all, what my thoughts are on them. If you've tried them, please comment below and tell me what you like the best, if you've had some of these woods before, and let me know what you think of them. Guys, I hope you got some value out of all three of these videos. I really enjoyed doing this. We hope you like the videos. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. We appreciate that greatly. Until next time, guys, I'll meet you the smoker.